Hello, I'm Steve Williams. I'm a non-executive director with Capright, and today we're going to do a REIT update with our topic, the self-storage sector. Doug, perhaps you can start telling us a little bit about rents and where they're headed.
Yeah, Steve, after some significant growth after COVID, rents have started to cool a bit. Demand has slowed as housing moves have slowed, which traditionally has been a big driver in self storage, coupled with construction in the pipeline that's being delivered, and that's market by market. Those have factored into lower rent growth projections from the four big REITs. Combine that with higher expense projections from the four big REITs, and we're looking at projections on NOI of negative for the first time in some time.
But isn't it a fact that lower rents are often a teaser uh, plan, a strategy to gradually increase them once you've got your tenants in there?
Yeah, that's right. The REITs have a great platform and really know what rent they need to hit to get folks in the door, and then increase those significantly through ECRIs, existing customer rental increases. That's a big play in the market now, and we're seeing it take place, and certainly something to keep an eye on moving forward.
Yes, and the REITs, of course, can afford to start low and then gradually work with the owner or developer. Kris, let me turn to you and ask you a little bit about rates. What do you see in the cap rates for self-storage?
Yeah, Steve, it's still tough to pinpoint a cap rate. There's not a lot of transaction activity with elevated interest rates. There's still a bid-ask spread of about 10 to 15%, which, it's coming in from probably 20% a few quarters ago. It's allowing some deals to move forward and get across the finish line. But, buyers are still on the sidelines waiting for the Fed to cut interest rates at this point.
Yeah, sure. Well, I'm sure our listeners will be eager to read our recently released Capright self-storage report for the first quarter. But just in conclusion, one or two sentences as to where this whole sector is heading.
Yeah, definitely. I think there are some near-term clouds ahead as demand is projected to be soft and expenses are rising. As the market works through the existing construction pipeline, behind that, there's not a ton in the pipeline. So the mid to long term looks like blue skies ahead, as hopefully we'll see more single family housing transaction activity, which should boost demand in the self storage market.
And Kris?
I'd agree with Doug on the fundamental side. And then on the capital side, there's still a lot of funds being raised for self-storage allocations. And as soon as the Fed cuts or buyer and seller's expectation gap closes, there'll be a lot more transaction activity in the market.
That's good. Okay, well, thanks for being with us today, and we'll talk to you next time.
Great. Thanks, Steve. Appreciate it.
Thanks, Steve.